Circuit, as these guys make an entrance to the circuit, I want you to raise the roof and make some noise for our top 16 drivers. These guys putting life and limb and car on the line this weekend for your entertainment and for this championship. Normally you just go into the to get on with the wall of sound. Give it up for your top 16 drivers, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a word with these guys. Up first, your first place qualifier, and he says he's a better looking Eddie Power. The VP Fuel sponsored Oliver Evans, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Oliver Evans. Up next, your 2017 Pro-Am champion, Mr. Understated. Give it up for Scott Cartledge. Representing M&M Engineering, the man behind the scenes and a former British Drift Championship champion. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Mike Marshall. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Hell Performance sponsored Ollie Elmore. Mr. European right here and feeling the pressure right now, just getting that car to the line when it needed to happen. Give it up for Matt Carter, ladies and gentlemen. All the way from Devon and looking super cool leaning on his car. Give it up for Martin Wallacott. Up next, it's Mr. I won't even go there. Give it up for Mr. Quinn, Kevin Quinn, ladies and gentlemen. Ex-Formula D driver and Mr. Cool in the brightest car on the grid. Give it up for Darren McNamara. Look at this, very cool, calm and collected, arms crossed, eyes focused. He's chasing down the championship. Give it up for Driftworks' very own Martin Richards. The coolest, most retro car on the grid, and look at this, a little smile on his face. He's happy to be here. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Peter Hayden. The man with 9 lives and the giant killer, we like to call him. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Walker. Representing Powerful Force Performance. Look at this, all the way from Lithuania. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Aramis Vaskalis. Up next, this man tested to the limits this weekend. The Northern Smoke Machine, your current points leader. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Dwayne McKeever. The gentleman in UK drifting with a thumbs up to the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Matthew Denham. Coming out of nowhere, this guy has absolutely stormed the pro grid. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cool, Josh King. And last but by no means least, this guy absolutely stole our hearts at the final round. Can he do it again? Raise the roof for Callum Marshall, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your top 16 drivers. But before these guys hop in their car and do battle to take a trophy this weekend and nearly decide our championship, before they fire these cars, I want every single person here at Three Sisters to make this a moment in history. This is the first time that the BDC has come to this track, so I want to make history. Is everybody ready to make some noise for our top 16 drivers right now? Come on. Say it again, Martin Richards, say it again. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Three Sisters, make some noise for your top 16! That's what I'm talking about. That means there's one more thing left to do, and that is, gentlemen, get in these cars, fire them up, and make some noise for Wigan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's kick off your top 16. Eddie, it's back to you in the tower.
Thank you, Ian, and thank you everybody in attendance. Our top 16 are ready to go. The sun has come out. Even the gods want to see some dry action on track here for this incredible event that we have. 16 drivers ready to go to war, and we are almost set. Could we see the championship decided? I'm not so sure that we will. Could we see Dwayne McKeever be beaten by Matt Denham in the top 16? And can we see Martin Richards take it to the top step of the podium? I am joined with David Egan. Dave, it has been an incredible weekend thus far, but this is the main spectacle. This is the main show. This is what we come to see. What is it going to take for these guys? Who is going to be the winner? What does each one of these drivers need to do in order to get your vote, get the three judges on side to take it to the top step of the podium?
Well, I think the interesting thing, Eddie, is that nobody knows. I mean, we came here with a lot of names on papers that usually go to the top of the leaderboard, but we see McKeever in trouble. Smith goes out in top 32 to a relative underdog. I mean, the underdogs are coming through this technical track, throwing up so many surprises. Before we finish here today, there's some X factors in there as well. You got Darren McNamara returning to his first sort of all-out competitive round, looking fast and professional out there, ex-Formula D driver. You've got Richards. Richards got to get the job done if he wants to chase Dwayne McKeever into that final round. And McKeever's car back in action. He's back on form, but not having the easiest weekend. I'm telling you right now, we're going to see some unpredictable battles here, some stuff that we did not expect. We've already witnessed it in the top 32. Mistakes are counting for it all here. This track, as easy as it may seem from the outside looking in, it's so narrow, so technical. The smallest mistake and you're out of the competition.
And what about the attendance here, Dave? You know, the British public showing their support, coming out in their droves to be here in Wigan this weekend. A really great event and a lot of buzz around the place today.
An amazing venue, amazing fans. Everything here has been a lot of fun since we got here. We're loving the atmosphere. We hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show. The sun is shining just here and nowhere else. That means that we are ready to rock and roll for this top 16. I'm going to hand back to Ian, take my seat in the judge's seat, and like everyone else, sit back and enjoy the show.
Brilliant, Dave. Thank you very much, and we will of course talk to you soon as you talk us through some of your judging calls. I am joined once again by the main man, Ian. Ian, look, you're down there. You can feel the buzz. Martin Richards is pumped. He wants the crowd pumped. We want them pumped. The sun is out. What more can we ask for? The penultimate round of the British Drift Championship, and we are almost set to go for the top 16. Highest qualifier, Oliver Evans, will be taking on Scott Cartledge, the 2017 BDC Pro-Am champion. It is all heating up here.
Listen, not only is it heating up here, but the weather has given us what we wanted, and that is sunshine. The track is bone dry. The crowd are hyped. I'm hyped. The drivers are pumped. Let's get this going. Top 16 is underway, and right now the first battle of the day is going to be heated. Oliver Evans, your first place qualifier, takes on your 2017 Pro-Am champion, Scott Cartledge. Eddie, this one could go either way.
Yeah, look, there's no guarantees here. Cartledge has the experience now of having a battle under his belt. Evans, the higher qualifier, though, the man showing the real form. The crowd are warming up. Are you guys ready to send the top 16? There we go.
That's what I'm talking
a little
about.
Bit of liveliness
That's what I'm talking about.
A little bit of liveliness in the audience, and we will be trying to interact as much with you guys as possible. You guys will be helping these drivers to push themselves. You're the 15th man here this weekend, and right now Oliver Evans gets ready to take to the circuit in the lead position. Can he take down the 2017 Pro-Am champion Scott Cartledge in that brand new build? We are about to find out. Malx gives the orders. They are off the line. We are go at Three Sisters.
Yeah, here we go as Oliver Evans fires it in. Look at this, Cartledge hot on his heels though as they come round at the first turn. Now Cartledge giving Evans some room to manoeuvre as Evans fires in a big dive from Cartlidge.
Huge dive!
Contact, and Cartlidge knocks himself out of the battle, has to get back into it. Oliver Evans stays on the throttle and powers himself through the final 2 clipping points as they go head to head. Look at this, unbelievable stuff for your first place qualifier.
Yeah, look, Scott Cartlidge knows all about Oliver Evans. Oliver been a little bit hidden away this season, but right now coming back out, qualifying first position, Cartlidge knows he's got to go hard, and that is essentially what takes him out of the competition. You can see nice wide line here from Oliver Evans straight from the off, and as he puts foot to floor, Cartlidge almost getting caught for dead, but makes the big dive and just goes that little bit too deep in.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we spoke about it earlier, people making the dive at the wrong part of the circuit, and Scott Cartlidge for me did exactly that. He dived at the wrong part of the circuit, put in a big error. This is not looking good for him. He now needs to go out and do an absolutely perfect lead run and just hope that Oliver Evans makes a similar mistake.
Yeah, problem here for him is that Oliver Evans, when he tucks into that chase position, is a master at chase driving.
Yeah, we haven't really seen him perform this season, but we know from old that, listen, Oliver Evans, like you say, wow, he's jumping out the car already.
Surely not.
So Oliver Evans is jumping out the car. You guys can see on screen now. Is he just checking his car over? Has he got an issue? We're trying to get word from our start line marshal.
I reckon he's just having a quick look at that car after the contact that was made in, and probably just making sure that everything is okay. Wants to ensure that the car is as safe as possible. Yeah, you can see the damage.
Yeah, we can see tire marks there from
on that Aleco sponsor sticker, and Oliver Evans just making sure that the car is okay. Heart in the mouth moments there for everybody watching on, as we don't want to see these guys go out through mechanical difficulties. We want to see them win it. Our start line marshal Maltz just making sure that he's strapped back into the car and safe, ready to go and take to the circuit. Will he formulate an attack here, or will he hang back? I'm not sure if there's a safe run in Oliver Evans.
No, it's exactly what I was just going to say. Oliver Evans doesn't even know what a safe run is. He's going to go 110%, and he's going to say, do you know what, buddy, you hit me? Watch this, hold my beer. Oliver Evans fires the car in behind Scott Cartlidge. Scott Cartlidge on a nice line though. Evans gives him some room. Now this is where Evans is going to start formulating his attack as they transition into clipping point 3. Now Evans holds it off for the moment as he transitions back now. Look at this, Oliver Evans starts to make the dive on Cartridge's door.
Yeah, starts to make the dive now and showing the aggression and jumps right into it. They stand on the accelerator as they push each other over the line, and Evans showing a lot of wisdom there, doing exactly what he needed to do. He waited in and then he pounced at the perfect moment. He got the proximity towards the end of the run, and I think it is pretty clear cut. Oliver Evans should be safely through to the Great 8.
Well, we need to make it official, and here we go. Slalom left for Cartlidge, right for Oliver Evans. And here we go. Kieran, David and Ryan make it unanimous. Oliver Evans, ladies and gentlemen, gets the win and advances through. No need to go to our judges. Contact forces the error, and there we go. Rules doing exactly what they were meant to be done.
Yes, and a very sensible approach to the chase position from Oliver Evans, and showing signs of championship status there at the moment. He's looking at that good. We move it on to the next battle. We'll see Mike Marshall taking on Ollie Elmore. Another spot in the Grade 8 up for grabs. Marshall, the higher qualifier and the former BDC champion, in that lead position. What can Elmore do against the man driving a borrowed car this weekend? Elmore hasn't looked overly comfortable out on track. He came up against Mike Walton in the top 24. Walton essentially throwing it away in, but can he take down former champion? You just never know. Here we go.
Yeah, Ollie Elmore now really needs to count his lucky stars. He got a lucky ride into the top 16. Does he get it again as he goes up to the former champion? Oh, he doesn't. He throws the car off circuit.
4 wheels off, and big error from Ollie Elmore, and you have to say, just doesn't look like he's really connected with the circuit this weekend. Hasn't looked comfortable out there, and for me, Marshall, with the experience of being a former champion, he'll go into the second half of this one. The team will be on the radio. He'll know about the mistake, and I think you'll see a similar approach to what Oliver Evans had in his chase run, where he just hangs back and just secures a spot in that Grade 8.
Well, we're going to just take a quick replay look at this one. As you can see, Mike Marshall's firing that car in. Very nice, tidy job from Marshall. Gets out on that wide line. Ollie Elmore at this point not really doing a whole lot wrong. He transitions onto that front clip, and then it's this. He kind of brakes, and the car doesn't correct the steering for some reason, holds him on lock and just forces him straight off track. So huge error there for Ollie Elmore. So all to play for in a second run, as he now will be in the lead position as we swap them around. Mike Marshall will be in that chase position in that borrowed E36 compact with the N54 BMW engine. That's a 3.5 litre turbo BMW engine under the bonnet of that. I can tell you now that compact didn't come factory with that, Eddie.
It certainly didn't. Even I would know that. So here we go, they line it up again, and they get set for the second half of the battle. Door open just to allow some cooling for Ollie Elmore. He's going to be in that lead position as we switch them around, and Michael Marshall, as we say, they wait for the orders. 318 badge on the back, certainly no 318 engine underneath the bonnet. Here we go, what can Marshall do in the chase position? He dives onto the rear end of that skyline.
Marshall stalls it up though. Marshall slows it down on the foot brake, Eddie, now gives him some room.
Yeah, I think maybe just thinking twice about it, and just stays in it. A slight little error, but the rest of this run now to pull it back and try and just keep a steady distance away from Ollie Elmore. He knows he doesn't need to force the issue here. Elmore's the one that needs to try and pull something out of the bag. What can he do from the lead position? Not a whole lot. Does a good lead run, but unfortunately that is all she wrote, I would imagine, for Ollie Elmore. Too big an error on that first run to try and overturn, and Marshall with, you know, some small little errors as we saw, Ian, but nothing you know, drastic. Will it be Elmore? Will it be Marshall? It's almost a case of just making it official. Kieran Hines says Michael Marshall. David Egan makes it official, and Ryan makes it unanimous. Michael Marshall goes through to the Great 8. No need to head back to the judges on that one. Pretty clear cut.
Yeah, very, very clear cut indeed. And like we said earlier, a straight line in or 4 wheels off circuit will be an instant knockout of the championship. We keep the action going though, and up next is a very good battle. Do you know why? Because these guys practiced earlier and yesterday in the dry, door on door. Up next it will be the current and reigning British Drift champion Matt Carter to take on Martin Wonnacott. 800 horsepower R32 to take on a 700 horsepower JZX 100. This is going to be a good battle.
Yeah, look, this is going to be really, really exciting, and Carter's got that car back on the grid, but we don't know how well it's working. The team have, you know, manufactured a prop shaft in the brake. Wonnacott, though, ready and poised to take a spot in a Grade 8 at any opportunity. Carter looking good here. Wonnacott tries to keep that proximity. Will he make the dive now as they come into the tighter section? They slow the cars down before getting switched back and right back onto the fast pedal. Carter looking good here. Wonnacott not able to get within an inch of him. Starting to fall back as Carter puts foot to the floor and crosses the line. 3 to 4 car lengths ahead of Wonnacott, Ian. No door-on-door action as you were predicting.
No, listen, exactly. These guys were door on door yesterday, and not sure what Wonnacott was being careful maybe and holding back.
Yeah, just didn't seem like the same driver that we saw in practice, but just goes to show maybe just trying not to make any mistakes in that chase position. He's been watching all weekend. He would have seen other drivers lose the battle by being overly aggressive in the chase position. He hangs back, but he does lose far too much ground from where I'm standing to Carter towards the end of the run here.
Exactly that, yeah. I mean, listen, I think Wonnacott was just being a little bit tentative. I think he was just holding back ever so slightly in case Carter's car had an error, or it broke down, or he put a foot wrong. Unfortunately for Martin Wonnacott, the experience of Matt Carter didn't let that happen, and he put down an absolutely storming lead run. Now he sits in the chase position, and we know they call him the hashtag door hunter. Well, is he going to get on any of the 4 doors that are on Martin Wannacott's JZX 100 as they come off the line? Look at Matt Carter right on the back bumper as they fire it in.
Yeah, Ian, he's got plenty of doors to choose from here, but he's got to be aggressive. He's got to just keep that proximity and give the judges something to talk about. Here he goes, makes a big dive now down the inside. Will he get caught? No. The door hunter perfectly poised here for an attack. Stays in it. Wonnacott comes a little bit shallow. Carter right there with him. Bumper to bumper. Carter with the big angle as they cross the line, and Matt Carter looking good for a spot in the Grade 8. We need to make it official from the judges, but for me, Ian, Carter looking strong out there.
Carter looking very, very strong. That chase run was very, very well timed and very clinical. Didn't make any errors, didn't make a silly dive at any point of the circuit. And you know what, I think Martin Wonnacott knows that this is pretty much the weekend over for him. But listen, we've been wrong before. Let's make it official. Martin Wonnacott on the left, Carter on the right, Kieran, David and Ryan. And there we go, it's unanimous. Matt Carter, ladies and gentlemen, gets the win and goes through to the Grade 8. Martin Wonnacott just not doing enough. And we go to the judges. Just a quick explanation on that one.
Yeah, exactly that. Martin really not quite doing enough. In his first run, I had him fairly even very slight advantage to Matt, purely because Martin's chase wasn't there, but Matt's lead wasn't great either. In the run just gone, Matt did enough to chase the line that he had given to him. Martin's lead was very poor, which basically gave the strong advantage to Matt, which took the run overall.
Well, there we go. That one in the bags. Matt Carter returns to the pits, feeling on top of the world, and we move it along to an all-Irish affair. This one, Kevin Quinn.
Yeah, look, we're talking about veterans of Irish drifting against the new breed. Kevin Quinn qualifying directly into the top 16. Darren D. McNamara having to battle his way there through the top 24. A veteran in Formula D. He is known all around the world. Kevin Quinn, less known, but certainly no stranger to podiums. He's podiumed at round 1 this season, looking to replicate that here this weekend. Can he take down a man he would have looked up to and followed in his early stages when he decided to get involved in drifting? McNamara getting nice and close to the rear end of Kevin Quinn as he decides to just hold back now. Will he formulate the attack?
Whoa,
look at that transition onto the door, Ian.
Look at a dive from Darren McNamara as he pushes Kevin Quinn's front bumper. They get nice and close together again. Wheels up on the curb from McNamara as he pushes Kevin Quinn over the finish line. Unbelievable stuff from the ex-Formula D driver, Darren McNamara.
Yeah, and that would have got the judges' attention, and that's what we're talking about, Ian, deciding where to make your attack. He held off and gave himself the room, and just like that, bam, he's on the door, Kevin Quinn.
The timing was phenomenal. Watch this from McNamara. A little dive onto the door there, so he knew he had the proximity. Kevin Quinn on a very nice lead line. Good transition through this front clip, and you can see McNamara just giving him the room he needs. Nice transition there, didn't get too close, but then watch this transition. Bam, on the door. Look at that from McNamara, wheel to wheel. Kevin Quinn in the middle of the track. He slows up ever so slightly, Quinn, and there's contact made, but look at that. Wheels up on the curb from McNamara, but he forces Kevin Quinn across the finish line. And unbelievable stuff from Darren McNamara.
Yeah, very James Dean-esque on that transition, and Darren McNamara will tell you that that James learnt it from him. So we are almost set to go. Quinn makes it back to the line. Darren McNamara,
yeah, Darren McNamara is further down the grid,
working his way through the traffic here.
Yeah, he's currently stopped at the moment, so I'm guessing he's having a chat with his pit crew. Maybe that bump on the front wheel, just a little bit of contact.
Yeah, marshals could be just having a look at this one as well, making sure that it is okay to go.
So just looking around his tyre, maybe a little bit of damage caused as they bumped wheels on that transition. So looks like Kevin Quinn's on the line, but it does look like Darren McNamara will be calling it a 5-minute rule. So a 5-minute rule called for Darren McNamara. So we will resume that battle in 5 minutes' time. In the meantime, I do believe that we are potentially going to move it along to the next battle of the day, which we will see yet again another good battle. This one though,
look, second place qualifiers, second place in the championship. Martin Richards is taking on Peter Hayden, and everything to play for here for Martin Richards if he can get himself into the final sections of the competition. Bow out though at this point, and he's handing a massive advantage and opportunity for Dwayne McKeever to secure the championship with a round to spare. 20 points separate 1 and 2 in the championship going into this round here, and both drivers making it into the top 16. So judges just calling for a replay, and I think this could be just to decide whether or not Darren McNamara has a competition time out on this one, because that would obviously allow him potentially to change tyres.
Well, listen, in my eyes, I felt that Kevin Quinn slowed up as he come through Luna Bend, and that was where the contact was made. I could be wrong. Listen, someone says I'm wrong all the time, but sometimes I'm not always wrong. Sometimes I'm quite right. But I'm getting a nod, and I think the judges agree with me this time. I think Kevin Quinn slowed up. Oh, right, they're agreeing I'm always wrong. Right, okay, got you.
But if you're only sometimes always wrong...
Sometimes always wrong. Sometimes always. Look at this. Oh, this is the Martin Monacott battle again. Sorry, we're getting the wrong replay. So just trying to work out the correct replay for our judges to see. So this should be the correct replay. As you can see, Kevin Quinn fires it in. Now, I believe that Kevin Quinn slowed.
Yeah, that's how you call it in real time, Ian, and we get an opportunity just to, it's after they come out of this, and just this section here now, yeah, looks as though they're both side by side, full throttle section of the course, then all of a sudden Darren McNamara is right up on the door when they make that contact. So the only way that could really happen is if Kevin Quinn slowed or pulled off throttle for any particular reason, even for just that slight moment in time.
The way I see it is that the contact wasn't made on the dive. It wasn't like Darren McNamara was carrying too much speed. He'd already got the car settled into Luna, and they were consistently driving together. Then the contact was made.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's how I see it as well, Ian.
But I'm always sometimes wrong.
Yeah, always sometimes, but only sometimes always.
Exactly. Here we go again. We're going to watch another replay. You guys can see it in attendance on the big screen. Look at this. It gets the car settled up. No contact there. Contact there.
Okay, the other question is though, is Darren McNamara out of position? Is he too deep, and is he causing Kevin Quinn not to be able to get on the correct line?
Kevin Quinn at that point should be accelerating. He is on the right line. He should be accelerating there though, and I feel personally that's where Kevin Quinn slowed. But listen, I'm not a judge. I'm just giving you my opinion, and we can see there
right.
we've got,
you can see the damage on that work wheel.
Yeah, damage to the front wheel on Darren McNamara's car. So we're going to just quickly try and find out if the judges deem it to be a competition timeout, or is it a 5-minute rule. Dave Egan, can you... so it's just a 5-minute rule. So it's just a 5-minute rule. So that could tell you something else about the story of this weekend.
So the 5-minute clock will have started, and yeah, we will revisit that. And
in the meantime,
on the line, the purge of the nitrous from the Driftworks driver Martin Richards as he settles himself and gears up for a big battle here with Peter Hayden. This one very important in terms of the championship, and Martin Richards in that lead position will be looking to try and pull as big a gap as he possibly backs away from the start line.
Yeah, he's
just
going to
rewarm his tyres. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, this is a big battle for Martin Richards. Martin Richards really needs to advance through now into the Grade 8 and into the Final Four. In the Final Four is the only place that he can meet Dwayne McKeever. So if he beats Dwayne McKeever in the Final Four, it will force McKeever into a 3rd and 4th place playoff, and Richards could potentially claw as many points. But first he needs to go through Peter Hayden. Now listen, Peter Hayden may be counting people might be counting Peter Hayden out of the fight, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Right, because understated car, young driver, but listen, these guys are the guys that come through and absolutely steal the show. Peter Hayden has nothing to lose. If he beats Martin Richards right now, he's a hero of the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he won't be caring about Martin Richards' championships. That's none of his concern. He'll be worrying about his own interests, and he has the desire to get to a podium just like anybody else. And if he could put that old school laurel up there on top step, how happy would he be? And what a weekend that would be for him, taking out one of the biggest names in drifting on the way. Can he do it though? Can he get himself into this? Makes the dive nice and early now. Can he stay there? Can we see someone maintain proximity in the chase position the entire way through the circuit? Drops back a little bit, but now makes a big dive down onto the door of that R32 Skyline. Washes a little bit wide as he tries to get back in it here. Richards though doing a good job in the lead position. Puts foot to floor and starts to pull the gap, while Peter Hayden tries to keep himself in but getting lost in the smoke. And just like that, Peter Hayden will be saying to himself, did I go that little bit too early? Did I just push it too much too soon? Should I have waited until we got past that 4th outer clipping zone and then made my attack on the switch back? Who knows what's going through his head, but certainly still in this one. No major mistakes, just dropping off that little bit and losing some ground. Again, you can just see here, big dive into that slowing section of the circuit, but struggles just to maintain the proximity then, Ian.
Yeah, can't get on the door. I mean, listen, very good. It's like he wants to try and get some proximity, but he's worried about making the dive in the wrong place of the circuit. Very nice battle there from Peter Hayden, but yeah, I think just a little bit outpaced to the second half of the run. Oh, and not only wheel damage, but suspension damage.
Yes, robbing parts from Stephen Fitzgerald's car, I believe.
So Darren McNamara currently has 1 minute left to go to get back out onto circuit,
and they have to fit some suspension parts and then the wheel. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy stuff. We swap these guys back around though, and it will now be Martin Richards to chase down Peter Hayden for a spot in the Grade 8. Now Starlow Marshall has his hand in the air, he's looking for the attention. Are we ready to go? We certainly are. We get the thumbs up from both our drivers. They are off. It's Peter Hayden now to lead out Martin Richards.
Yeah, look, going into the second half of this one, you got to feel as though Richards has the advantage, and he just needs to maintain steady proximity. No need to make any overly aggressive dives, but look at this. Richards is going for it. He's bringing the fight, and he wants to go right to the door of Peter Hayden. Will it be a sensible move as he tries to force an error from Hayden in that lead position? He's right there with him. The Driftworks driver is putting on a show, a spectacle in chase driving, and what about that for second in the championship, putting it all on the line in, even though he didn't really need to.
No, listen, he didn't need to at all. Unbelievable stuff there for Martin Richards. Gets nice and close on the door, forces himself into a position where he is very dominant. Does he take the win? We're about to find out. Sledham left for Hayden and right for Martin Richards. Kieran David and Ryan make it unanimous. The Driftworks driver Martin Richards gets the win and goes through. Peter Hayden bows out of competition. Judges, we send it to you just quickly.
Yeah, Martin's in the lead position there on the first run. Yeah, he could have been a little bit wider corner. One stone error he made there. Other than that, it was a good run. Peter in the chase, though, he does a big dive at clip 5, which a lot of people are doing, falls away at the end. So Martin has an advantage after the first one when we swap him around. Peter's lead run wasn't the best, especially as we come through the cut through there. Doesn't really get out to clip 5. Martin, he has to transition at clip 5 a little bit offline, but he still stays on Peter's door because of Peter's not getting into clip 5. So Martin has a strong advantage on the second one. So over board runs, Martin takes it from us.
So look at that somber view from the pits. Dave Egan, we go to you for this one.
Yeah, so obviously we can see that Darren stopped working on the car, suspension and wheel damage done, and that is obviously him out of competition. And that would bring us back to the decision of whether the collision between Quinn and McNamara, who was at fault. Now, essentially, the way we've looked at it is Darren cuts across the track very abruptly, and he gets into a position where he's sort of between the curb and Quinn and sort of doesn't have anywhere else to go. Quinn, he's not wide enough for Darren to try and overtake him, so essentially he's sort of squeezed in there, and then he hits the front wheel of Quinn's car. Now, you shouldn't be in a position, especially when you're not overtaking, where you hit the front wheel of a competitor's car. He stays in a little bit too deep. Now, Quinn, to be fair, keeps it going, and it's not a 10-0 or anything, but when it comes to the fact that Darren is eliminated because of the collision and the damage, it is not Quinn's fault that has happened, so therefore Quinn gets the win.
So there we go, Kevin Quinn getting the win and advancing through to the Grade 8, and unfortunately Darren McNamara bows out of competition due to mechanical problems. We keep it going though, Eddie.
And once again, you were wrong, Ian, and I was right.
I'm always wrong.
Always wrong.
Sometimes.
So Matt Walker and Aramis Vasquez, a very interesting battle, and two E30s on the line, two very different E30s though, and two very different styles of driving in these two cars. Could Matt Walker make his way through to the Grade 8 by taking down one of the best in the business? A very steady driver. He's always perfect on that lead line, but he has got a wild, crazy man with a self-proclaimed no brain chasing him down. Here we go, Walker in the lead. Vasquez unable to bridge the gap here just yet. Looked to make the dive there on transition, but backed out of it, and now puts foot to floor. Can he close the gap here? Walker in the underpowered E30 pulls the gap in.
I don't think it comes down to a point of the power. I think it just comes down to the fact that Matt Walker was on an absolutely perfect lead line. We go back to the replay.
He is such a perfect line driver, and he has to be, and he's been like that all weekend, if not all season long. And right now, I mean, look, Vasquez just doesn't have an answer to the Pro-Am driver's consistency here. He is inch perfect. It's like he knows this circuit inside out. He knows exactly where he needs to place that car, and there is just no answer for it. Could Matt Walker go through to the Grade 8? Could we see him on the podium today in that little E30 that could?
I think the biggest problem that Matt Walker has now got is chasing down Aramis Vasquez.
And
Aramis
the smoke.
Vasquez, the smoke, the speed, and just the pure pace of that car is going to be something to contend with. And Matt Walker, even though he's an amazing line driver, is going to find it very, very difficult to get up on the door of that car and match the pace of Vasquez.
Yeah, and we saw the difficulties that Ian Phillips had in that top 24 battle when he got lost in the smoke and ended up straight lining and going off the circuit. So the man with 9 lives, will he continue his fortunes? The cat god, will it be the perfect run for him, or will Vasquez spoil the party? Here we go. Vasquez styles on that big angle. Oh, and Vasquez goes off circuit. Vasquez goes off circuit and makes a big error. Matt Walker now loses some ground, but the judges will be looking in his favor.
Whoa! Aramis Vasquez. What is going on with Aramis Vasquez as Matt Walker puts his car into a spin and sends it off?
So Vasquez smokes out the circuit, but you know what? I think the first spin comes from Matt Walker, but I think all of that caused by the errors and the poor driving by Vasquez.
Well,
so judges' decisions in. Vasquez, slide them left for Vasquez, right for Walker, Kieran, David and Ryan. Walker gets 1 vote, David makes it 2, and Ryan makes it unanimous. Matt Walker's going through, pretty clear cut from that one. No real need to go back to the judges on it, but yeah, the spin or the wheels off circuit and the poor line from Vasquez causing problems for Matt Walker.
So Matt Walker getting the win and advancing through to the Great 8. We moving along to the next battle of the day, and this one's going to be a tough one. Dwayne McKeever to take on Matt Denham, a very on-form Matt Denham. And let me tell you something I found out earlier. They've removed the rear-mounted turbo off Matt Denham's car. So the reliability issue now has kind of gone away. That car just a naturally aspirated V8 and easy for Matt to drive. No problems with that sort of stuff anymore. So Matt Denham now could be feeling super confident. We know he's a good chase driver. Can he stick it to the door of the current points leader? As they come off the line, it will be Denham to chase it down McKeever for a spot in the Grade 8 and championship on the line.
Whoa, big dive from Denham, and certainly feeling confident and showing signs of that early. He knows that Dwayne McKeever is one of the best in the business when it comes to chase driving, so he's made his attack early. Can he stay there with him? Nice transition, a big dive onto the door again. He's bullying the points leader. Could we see Denham take it through to the Grade 8, or McKeever crosses the line? I don't think anybody, including McKeever, was expecting that one. Does Denham even know what happened there? He formed the attack nice and early, and he stayed there, maintained that proximity. We haven't seen anybody do it for that length of time this weekend so far, Ian.
Watch this from Denham. Absolutely crazy dive. No regard for his safety or Dwayne McKeever's as he made that dive. And again, nice transition as they come through clipping point 3. And this is where it gets scary. Look at this absolutely phenomenal dive from Matt Denham. Gets on the door, almost contact made. McKeever stays in it. Good proximity, good line from both guys, but McKeever just drives away ever so slightly as he cuts the edge of the circuit, drives through the finish line.
I'm just going to go out there and say that Matt Denham will never run a turbo ever again.
Listen, it's worked all day so far, fingers crossed, touch wood, and it's been reliable. So could this be the key to his success? We're about to find out. He's now in the lead position. He's
laid down the gauntlet here to Dwayne McKeever. He said, do you know what, Dwayne? You have the reputation for being one of the best drivers in the world, for one of the best chase drivers in the world. You're the Northern Smoke Machine. You're a 2-time Irish Drift champion. You're the current points leader. You're undefeated in 7 rounds this year. What have you got? Because I just stuck it to your door. McKeever comes looking for the door of the RX-8. What can he do? Can he take down the Jap Speed driver? Will he make the dive right now? McKeever hasn't brought the fight. He hasn't brought the proximity. He switches back onto the door. Now he starts to look for it. Now he comes hunting for the door. Can he stay there? Can McKeever keep this run going? Or will it be Denham? They cross the line. Wheels off circuit. Wigan makes some noise. Matt Denham, Dwayne McKeever, insane.
Unbelievable stuff from both those guys as they pull up to the finish line. And you know what? McKeever did an absolutely stellar job of chasing down Matt Denham. Matt Denham drops wheels off the edge of the circuit on the final half of the run. But listen, the score is in. The judges know exactly who's taking it through to the Grade 8. Slide him left for McKeever, right, left for Denham, right for McKeever. Kieran, David and Ryan. 1 vote for McKeever. 2 votes for McKeever as Dwayne McKeever gets the win and advances through to the Grade 8. Matt Denham bows out of competition. Judges, a very, very, very good battle.
Very good indeed, yeah. It was quite close. However, the wheel drop from Matt kind of sealed it, putting Dwayne, who chased slightly better, not massive amounts better, just that little bit more sort of consistent throughout the track, that bit better. Both of them were good lead runs, other than Matt's wheel drop, which just sealed the deal there.
So there we go, the wheel drop there from Denham, just causing his own fate. And we go down to the gridding area where our good friend Nathan is with Oliver Evans. Nathan.
Hi guys. Hi Dwayne. You ain't got it. Yes, we're down here with top qualifier, Mr. Oliver Evans. Just going to grab a quick chat. How are you, big man?
Good, doing good.
Fantastic. So you came top. You're here for the win today. Are you the man that we have been searching for? The man to defeat and stop the reign of Dwayne?
Definitely. Like I've already had a run-in with him, so we'll see how this one goes. If we do get him.
Oh, sounds spicy. Now, before you get to that, you've got a little obstacle in your way. Now, we were going to have a joint interview with you and Mike Marshall, but he's been an ignorant bastard. So no, he said no, he won't come over and speak to us. I think he's shy. There we are. Yeah, he had your chance. Oh, he's got the crazy feline with him, that absolute lunatic that no one CRB checked before they let him into this course. We're running around like a cat yesterday. Well, look, you guys have got history, right? At round 1, you guys had a battle. What happened?
Yeah, we kind of had a bit of a run-in. Similar things to Kiwi, you know. People just seem to slow down in front of me, and I just seem to collect them. So
Go on.
he better not do it again.
I hear an insinuation that he basically took a dive, so he went down, rolling around, holding his shin, needed a Snickers, he didn't have one, and he went through, and you're sat here. So this is redemption.
Yeah, is he looking?
He is looking, but he squints a lot. He's not great looking, so I'm trying to look at him. Do you know what I mean? The death stare.
I think they'd all be better playing football, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, look, you guys are about to do battle. I wish you all the best. And you, Mike Marshall, you as well, buddy, okay?
Well, there we go, Nathan, making friends and enemies.
And enemies, and probably, you know, peeving a few people off, but we move it along. The final battle, and what an interesting one it is. Josh King, the Pro-Am driver from yesterday's competition, coming up against a man who just at the last round was a Pro-Am driver. He's now moved up to the Pro class. Callum Marshall. These two guys will feel like they both have an equal opportunity of getting through to the Grade 8. Can Marshall continue his good run of form, or will it be Josh King who overturns them? BMW on BMW. Here we go, off the line. King, the higher qualifier, to lead them in, and no response from Callum Marshall.
No, Callum Marshall driving around the first half of the circuit, and he's crossed the initiation point. So I'm guessing right now a big problem for Callum Marshall, which would result in a 10-0 advantage for Josh King.
Yeah, pretty clear cut in, you know, as we say, it's all about drifting, but obviously problems with that car for Callum Marshall. He has not made an attempt to get it sideways at all, and we'll wait and see. Can we hear from our marshals just what it is that his problem is? Is he going to try and contest the second half of this one, or will he call a 5-minute rule, or may even retire from the competition? We don't know. We're waiting to hear. But certainly not the way Josh King would have wanted to take an advantage into the Grade 8, and certainly very unfortunate scenes here for Callum Marshall. Things had been running so well for him at this point, but certainly showing that a half shaft, we're hearing that a half shaft broken probably on the line, and just while warming up the tyres, and just when he was set to leave the line.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Callum Marshall, I mean, how can you even comprehend that? Come off the start line, broke a drive shaft. Such unfortunate scenes. He's going to get the opportunity to fix it. We've seen guys change drive shafts in 5 minutes before. Is he going to call a 5-minute rule, or is he going to bail out competition? No, he does indeed call a 5-minute rule. So while we await Callum Marshall to get into the pits and fix that car, Eddie, tickets on sale now for the final round of the championship in just over a month's time at Rockingham Motor Speedway, the Invasion. Shop.thebritishchampionship.co.uk. If you're sitting at home right now and you're watching, you're thinking, I need to get along to one of these rounds, get online, buy some tickets, get some grandstand tickets. They're selling out fast, apparently. Just today alone, we have sold a number of tickets. So
yeah, look, and the other thing is, if you were sitting at home wondering, oh, do you know what, I might go, I may not go, I don't want to go if the championship's already been decided because it won't be as interesting. Well, guess what? Into the Grade 8 is Martin Richards. Into the Grade 8 is Dwayne McKeever. That championship's going nowhere today. The Pro-Am Championship is going nowhere. They're all going to be decided at the final round. Here we go, we're going back to the line though. First battle in the Grade 8, Oliver Evans taking on Mike Marshall. We just heard from Oliver Evans, sounding very confident. A little bit of a grudge match here. What can Marshall do, the former champion, taking on the new blood coming into this championship? Oliver Evans, we haven't seen the best of him yet, but that car and that driver working perfectly here this weekend. Can Marshall upset the party though? Can he do what others have failed to do and take down Oliver Evans and put that pretty boy in his place? We are about to find out.
Pretty boy. Off the line, Oliver Evans fires the car in. Mike Marshall gives him a little bit of room to manoeuvre as Oliver Evans looks for clipping point 1. And look at this, Oliver Evans stands on the accelerator and starts to pull away as Evans fires it into the transition for 4. He gets himself set up nicely for outer zones 6 and 7. And look at this, a huge separation and no answer from Mike Marshall, the former champion, as Evans takes it over the line.
Another impressive performance from Oliver Evans as he, you know, just shows why he is so highly ranked in this series and in European drifting, putting on a really strong qualifying line, and far too much pace for Marshall to try and match. And you know, Marshall not doing a whole lot wrong in that chase position, just didn't have the legs really. But as I say, a good fast lead run and fast line from Oliver Evans, giving Marshall very little to play with there.
Oliver Evans just, for me, just put down an absolutely screaming lead run, and I think in his head he said to himself, "Listen, if I could drive away from Mike Marshall and give him no opportunity to get on the door, it kind of seals the deal for me if I can chase him down and get nice and close on his door. So maybe that's his plan. Oliver Evans pulls back up to the line. Mike Marshall now sits in that lead position.
Yeah, look, and I guarantee you, Oliver Evans, while he has his, this battle with Mike Marshall has his attention, his sights are firmly set on a potential final with Dwayne McKeever, and that is, he would love the opportunity to be the one to take down McKeever's 7-win streak. So here we go. Evans holds back just a little bit now, starts to put the foot to the floor and gain ever so slightly on Marshall. Tucks in now, makes the dive onto the door. Pinpoint actually slows up, backs out, makes the switch back into the pocket, and now looks to get up close and personal with the former champ Oliver Evans in the VP Racing Fuel S14. A masterclass and controlled aggression, and you know what, for me, a pretty obvious one. Evans should be taking that through to the final 4. We look to the judges to make that official. And Marshall, of course, with no answer in the chase position. Evans able to get that proximity. Side him left for Marshall, right for Evans. Kieran, David and Ryan. Kieran Hines says Oliver Evans. David Egan says Oliver Evans. It's official, it's unanimous. Oliver Evans moves on to the final 4.
Oliver Evans there doing exactly what I thought he was going to do, Eddie, and stick it to the door. And we can see there scenes in the pits of Callum Marshall's pit crew changing a drive shaft. Just 3 minutes to go before he has to be out of his pit area. These guys, though, I do believe in Driftland, they changed the drive shaft in 2 minutes. So they're experienced. We're going to hand it down to Nathan, who is down there in the pits with Callum Marshall.
Trying to get in, I don't know if you can hear me. Kieran's zooming in on the old damage here. There's the bearded warrior that's putting them under pressure by constantly screaming out the time, just adding on. Oh god, the screams going on. We're just getting the wheel back on. There's a snap drive shaft. It's all very exciting. There's discs going on. There's arms and wrists everywhere. It's very, very serious stuff, and it really is quite nerve-wracking to see. But yeah, we'll come back to you if we have any indication. It looks like they might just get it done. Fingers crossed here for Callum Marshall.
Callum Marshall's crew doing a very, very good job down there already. Like I said, they changed that drive shaft in 2 minutes of Driftland. So experienced guys. We move it on to the next battle of the day. It will be Matt Carter to take on Kevin Quinn. Kevin Quinn getting that gift through to the Great 8, Eddie. But this time, I don't think it's going to be as easy.
Yeah, well, look, at the same time, a gift in many ways, but he was on form and on a really good line, and looks impressive out there. And he's coming up against the reigning and defending champion, Matt Carter, who has had a lot of experience competing on that European circuit this year. Quinn, what can he do now? New to the British Drift Championship this season, and looking to try and get a spot on the podium again, but losing a lot of ground here to Carter, who looks impressively quick through the circuit right now, Ian.
Matt Carter looks very, very fast, as you say, Eddie, and Kevin Quinn tries to make a dive. He stands on the accelerator, pops a wheel up onto the curb, but no answer for the pace of Matt Carter. Jab speed maxes tyres R32.
From clip 4 to 5, Kevin Quinn looking a little bit wild and lost a whole lot of ground to the defending champion, and advantage set in favour of Matt Carter right now as we look to the second half of the battle. Replay on the screens if you're watching at home. And right now, Matt Carter.
Good job by Matt Carter. Very, very nice, tidy lead run. You can see here, not many errors from where I'm looking. Doesn't get too deep into the outer zone. It looks like Kevin Quinn's going to attempt to make a dive here, but kind of
dials on far too much angle.
Almost an over rotation, big angle. So Callum Marshall getting some information that he has made it back out into circuit. So Callum Marshall,
that's impressive that they've managed to, 5 minutes, and look what they've managed to achieve. You can see him on your screens just waiting to get the marshal's order to go back to the start line, where he will come back to a 10-0 disadvantage to Josh King. But we've got some pressing issues on our screens. Kevin Quinn, the second half of the battle with Matt Carter. Quinn to lead them in, Carter to give chase. The door hunter getting set to do what he does best.
Well, it looks like Matt Carter has definitely got more pace in the car than what Kevin Quinn has, but Kevin Quinn's been known to do some wild things before as they come off the line. Quinn fires the car in. Look at this. Matt Carter straight on the door, though, as Carter stays with Quinn.
Yeah, Carter looks to tuck right in beside him and try and stay there. Now goes to make a second dive. Backs off just a little bit. Will we see a switch onto the door here? Pierce through the smoke.
Wow.
Oh, almost worked out for Carter there, but just lost a little bit of ground. We're going to get straight back into it here as he tries to apply some final pressure as they cross the line. Wigan makes some noise. Matt Carter, Kevin Quinn. the People's Champion looking to take it one step closer to a potential podium. Will it be Quinn? Will it be Carter? Judges to make the decision. Slide him left for Quinn, right for Carter. Kieran says Carter. David Egan says Matt Carter. Ryan makes it unanimous. Matt Carter gets the win. Unfortunately, the weekend ends there for Kevin Quinn. Judges, pretty clear-cut one over the 2 runs, but Matt Carter getting the call.
Yeah, best 2 runs Matt Carter's done all day. He's been finding his feet, and that was back to the Matt Carter we expected. It all came down to Quinn in the first run. He just didn't have any proximity, sort of didn't get into the game at all, and he took a poor line as well through some of the course as well, so it just didn't help his cause as it went along. And Carter made no errors over the 2 and looking good on proximity throughout the run as well. So strong performance from him, and end of the weekend for Quinn.
There we go, Kevin Quinn's weekend ends right there, and we go back to the second half of the battle of Josh and Marshall. Josh King and Callum Marshall battle sits on the line. It is now the opportunity of Callum Marshall to lead out Josh King. Josh King with a 10-0 advantage in his pocket.
Yeah, King doesn't have to do a whole lot here. Just needs to be sensible. Hold your distance, and you're going through to the top 8. But oh, big straight behind him. Marshall straight in front of him. I didn't quite catch what exactly happened there, Ian.
Looks like another drive shaft, unfortunately, there for Callum Marshall, and Callum Marshall quits drifting. Josh King just flaunting what he can do with his working car.
If you got it flaunted, and right now what he's got is more working half shafts than Callum Marshall. And unfortunately for Callum Marshall, the end of his weekend, a second 10-0 there. And pretty clear cut, Josh King getting the call from the 3 judges and moving on to the Great 8. And dare I say
that one is going to be good. Moving into the Great 8, and Eddie, what a battle, because we've seen that guy stick it to the door. Well, look, who did he take down yesterday, Josh King? Your current Pro-Am points leader, Lee Scott. Who does he face now in the Great 8 and Pro? Current points leader, Dwayne McKeever.
And if you cast your mind back to when he was being interviewed by our esteemed pit reporter, how casual and comfortable did he look? A little bit of a lean on the car, just looks so relaxed, like it wasn't even. But do you know who he reminds me of? Oliver Evans.
Yeah.
A young Oliver Evans.
A young Oliver Evans. We move it along to the next battle of the day, which we Martin Richards to take on Matt Walker. Matt Walker, the giant killer, keeps on going. Is there any stopping this man? Can Martin Richards be the guy to take him down this weekend? Well, it's all in Martin Richards' interests to keep progressing through this weekend and get as many points as he can for the championship. They're on the line and are ready to rock and roll. It'll be Richards to lead out Walker for a spot in the final 4.
So Walker in that chase position, looking to make the dive nice and early. Can he force a mistake? He's looked so steady, but can he match the speed here of Martin Richards? It certainly looks as though he can, as he makes a big dive out of the inside and gets it wrong. Tried to be overly aggressive, Ian.
Yeah.
Tried to force the issue. Probably should have held back a little bit. Just gets caught with the line of Richards, and it's just like that. That simple. A very quick error, and all of a sudden he is staring down the barrel of the gun against one of the best in the business, who you would imagine will have the experience and the knowledge and the know-how not to make a mistake in the chase position when he knows he has that 10-0 advantage.
It was a very nice dive and a very nice attack from Matt Walker, but look, he tries to do again what many drivers have tried to do, and that's make a big dive on that corner, and I just don't think it's possible to do and be committed there. And like, a few guys have tried it, and a lot of them have ended up straightening or making an error.
I mean, you're talking about a tight track already, coming into a slowing section of the circuit, and he shoots forward, makes the dive, but just can't get the car on angle because of the position of Martin Richards. Of course, Martin Richards not out of position on the correct line there as they go through that section, so big disadvantage now for Walker as he lines up in the lead position and prepares to do what he's been doing all weekend and nail that qualifying line. But Richards knows that he doesn't have to do anything out of the ordinary here. He doesn't need to force the issue, doesn't need to apply too much pressure. He can just hang in the balance, but certainly looking for that door straight away, Ian.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to do that. He's going to try and stick it on the door on Matt Walker as Richards now fires it in. Walker looks nice and collected this time. Richards dials it back in Luna and starts to get on the door, giving Walker some room to manoeuvre as they come through clearing point 6, and nice and wide onto 7, and over the line go Richards and Walker.
So Martin Richards looking set to take a place in the final four, where he will join Oliver Evans and Matt Carter, who have already secured their spots. We just make it official from the judges. Slide him left for Walker, right for Richards. Kieran Hines says Martin Richards, one more vote for him and he will be going through. David Egan confirms it. Ryan makes it official. And Martin Richards moves on to the final four. Job done for him. One spot remains. Dwayne McKeever, Josh King, the battle that we spoke about just momentarily ago, Ian. Richards has done the job at the moment. It's up to McKeever now to cover his end of the bargain.
Look, I'm going to go out there on a wild one, and I'm going to say that Josh King, again, has nothing to lose. He had nothing to lose yesterday, and he put it on the door of Lee Scott. He's got nothing to lose today. If he can take down Lee Scott and Dwayne McKeever in the same weekend, what does it say for Josh King as a driver coming through this championship? And he is in the pro class. He's a Pro-Am driver.
The thing about it is, Dwayne McKeever has seen it all before. He's faced the best in the business, and never does he look like he's not confident. Never does he look to be phased by what's up against him. But look at this. Josh King looks for the door straight away, wheel to wheel, as they come through that first outer zone. Now they switch it back. McKeever, people say how difficult it is to stay with the pace that he finds throughout any circuit that he goes on, but right now Josh King is managing to stay with him. Just can't get to the door. McKeever stands on the fast pedal, puts the foot down, sends up the smoke signal and pulls the gap. All importantly, Josh King just doesn't have an answer for that speed through the final sections of the circuit. McKeever looking strong.
McKeever looking very, very strong and very dominant. Maybe Josh King not doing what I asked him to do. I told him to go out there and win, but Eddie's not doing it. He held back. Look at this, nice initiation.
Yeah, see, what you've forgotten there, Ian, is that sometimes it's easier said than done. But, you know, look, he's given it a good fight. He's given it a good go. McKeever,
he gave him a very, very good fight up to this point, and this is where McKeever really excels. He sets that car up in that lunar bend, stands on the accelerator, and the car just absolutely drives away. I don't think that Josh King's car's got the pace that it had earlier in practice, because he was a lot faster earlier in practice than he is now.
Yeah, and look, you got to say as well, McKeever has a unique driving style as well, which allows him just to find that extra little bit of pace that other drivers can't seem to match. And, you know, sometimes you think you've gone out and you've done a few practice runs with Dwayne McKeever, but he's probably only been at 85, 90, maybe 90% at best. And when it comes to the battles, he pushes that little bit extra. So if you thought you were with him, all of a sudden you've got to find an extra little bit of pace as well. Oh!
And problems for Josh King as he tries to initiate. Now he starts to get in it. But that's going to be a big deduction in his points as he fires it in to the transition on clipping point 4. Nice rotation back. McKeever is with him. McKeever now finds the door of Josh King. C36 BMW, a little wobble from King. McKeever right with him, and McKeever keeps it sideways as King straightens over the line. And listen, I said to you a minute ago that I didn't think that car had the same pace, and potentially I think it could have an issue. So the car being at fault, not Josh King.
Yeah, looks to be that way, and you know, for a man that's always wrong and sometimes
always right.
You're right quite a little bit at the time. You know a bit about this sport.
Well, they get out of the car and embrace each other. We need to make it official. Slide them left for Josh King, right for Dwayne McKeever. Kieran, David and Ryan. Kieran says McKeever, so does David, so does Ryan. They make it official. Dwayne McKeever gets the win and advances through to the final four, and we're going to shoot down with Nathan.
We're here. What happened? What was the decision? I didn't even hear. Are you a loser yet? It was you. What, how many is that? 4? Are you down to is that the final 4 now?
Top 4, yeah.
Top 4, and who are you going to be going up against, does it look like?
I don't know, you tell me.
Does it matter?
I don't know.
Do you just, I mean, you're here now. Do you feel the pressure yet?
Pressure for tyres, I told you before.
He's told me before, and I'll listen this time. Pressures for tyres. Get back in there, you little rascal. Go and get out of here. It's Dwayne McKeever. We'll be back.
They might not know what's going on, but we certainly do. Dwayne McKeever will face who? Martin Richards in the final 4. Oliver Evans and Matt Carter to make up the other battle. 2 opportunities at the podium. This one is going down to the wire.
It certainly is, Eddie, as we go to the start line for the next battle of the day. And scenes in the pits, Eddie, that I never thought I would see. This is bad. But first of all, we need to get the next battle underway. It will be Oliver Evans to take on Matt Carter for a spot in the final. Can your first place qualifier take down your 2017 champ? Well, we're about to find out. These guys have yet to face off in competition this season. And Carter looking very confident. Thumbs up to the camera, thumbs up to the start line, and we're ready to rock and roll. As Oliver Evans now leads out Matt Carter for a spot in the final.
Yeah, look, we know Oliver Evans has been looking good, but as Dave Egan alluded to, Matt Carter looking more and more impressive and more comfortable on this circuit every time he goes out. Can he take it to the highest qualifier? Looks as though he can. Now he goes door hunting, but washes just a little bit. Looks for the switchback. Just doesn't get the door of Oliver Evans, who puts the shoe in now and finds that pace. Carter follows suit. Take it out to the extremes of the circuit and cross the line side by side. A round of applause from the judges. Wigan makes some noise. Your reigning champion and the man that wants to steal his crown, Oliver Evans.
Yeah, very, very good chase drive there from Matt Carter, but look at that lead from Oliver Evans, just pulling it out the bag every single time and putting down that 90-point qualifying run. Look at this, very nice transition from Carter. He starts to get on the door, doesn't get as close as what we'd like to see, and this is where Evans stands on the accelerator and looks like he has some real pace in that S14.5 as they return back to the start line for the second half of that run.
Yeah, look, Matt Carter in that one, certainly in the fight, and brought some proximity, particularly towards the latter stages. And look how close he's getting to Oliver Evans, side by side, almost pushing over onto his side of the track, just to try and get a little bit of mind games. Really get the edge off the line as they look to fight for that spot in the final. One of them goes to the final, one of them goes to a third, fourth place playoff. Here we go. Carter leads in Oliver Evans. Evans looks for the door. They transition side by side. Evans is right there with Carter. Carter goes out to the circuit. Evans follows suit. Evans makes the dive down the inside. It's Carter.
He's on big angle though. Evans on big angle.
But look at this, Ian. He jumps straight back into it. Gets on the door of the door hunter. The hunter becomes the hunted. Evans drops back but gets straight back onto that inside line as he tries to force the issue right across the line. Three Sisters make some noise. A close one over the two runs in. Who do you think is going to take it?
I'm unsure. Very, very scrappy chase in my eyes for Oliver Evans. A very nice lead from Matt Carter, but judges could have seen something potentially that we didn't see as they both exit the vehicles.
We got any Oliver Evans fans in the vicinity? Anyone supporting Matt Carter? Anyone want to see him go one more time? Yeah,
everybody.
we know what the crowd want to see.
So judges just wanted to see a replay. Look at this big angle there from Oliver Evans, and he sacrifices out of clipping point 4. Very shallow angle as he comes through Luna Bend, and then look, makes an error here. Look, dials on big angle, has to try and make a correction. Gets on the door again, not sure. So judges putting a score into their system. Who's going to take it through to the final? Will it be Carter? Will it be Evans? Judges' score is in. Slide them left for Matt Carter, right for Oliver Evans. Kieran, David and Ryan. Kieran Hines says, one more time. David Egan says, one more time. They're going to go at it one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Apothecary makes it unanimous. Judges, we throw it back to you. Very, very good battle from those guys.
Best battle of the day so far. Two guys on form. Like, I mean, you could pick apart small moments. I mean, Ollie was probably a little bit shakier, but he was far more aggressive. Sort of balanced it out. Matt was great over the two runs. Both guys were great, in fact. Little errors here and there, and you could go on all day about them, to be honest, and you could try and pick a winner on very, very small, anal things in it. But to be honest with you, they're on form. We want to see a clear winner, and we need to send them back at it. I think we'll start to see them put each other under pressure now, and that should decide it.
Well, there we go. These guys done battle before, but that was last season. They felt each other out now in this first half of the battle, Eddie. They're going to have to try and work out each other what they're going to do, but we're going to move it forward. And listen, we see some stuff in the pits from where we're sitting, and I was worried for Martin Richards.
So was I, Ian. I wasn't sure he was going to make it to the line. He has done that. We're waiting to hear what exactly was going wrong, but if my eyes weren't playing tricks on me, I thought I saw smoke coming from that pit area, and a lot of people around the pitworks gridding area.
So yeah, I mean, look, we can see straight across to the Driftworks pit from where we're sitting, and there was a lot of smoke coming from the engine bay of Martin Richards' car. I didn't think he was going to make it to the line, but he has. He sits on the line and he awaits the current points leader, Dwayne McKeever, to join him for a place in the final. Look at that. Thumbs up, hands up. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going on with Martin Richards' car? Anything could happen right now, Eddie.
Yeah, look, I'm looking to the line here as well, and I'm wondering, looked like it maybe just a little bit of mind games, possibly Dwayne McKeever holding back, letting Martin Richards wait on the line, just having a little quick word with the marshals as he warms those tyres and slowly makes his way up to that start line, and just giving Richards that little moment just to, think about the importance of this battle. McKeever can't lose the championship here, but certainly Richards could find himself with an uphill task at the final round. 20 points the gap coming into this one. Who's going to take it through to the final? Will it be Richards? Will it be McKeever? Here comes McKeever chasing down the Driftworks driver.
Yeah, McKeever now starts to make the dive onto the door of Martin Richards. Martin Richards looking cool though as McKeever makes the dive back on the door again. They transition into four. McKeever with a huge dive as they come through Luna Bend. McKeever all over the back end of that Driftworks R32 Skyline. McKeever has a little wobble. Richards stays in. Smoke out the bonnet of McKeever's car, out of Richards' car. Smoke out the bonnet of Richards' car, and he pulls off the circuit in a spectacular fashion. Richards bails out of the car and has the car suffered terminal problems. You can see him out of the car, he's dejected, kicking the grass, and he cannot believe it.
He knows the magnitude of this and just how much of a problem this would be now going into the final.
Look at this, Dwayne McKeever out of the car with his own fire extinguisher, trying to see if they can salvage anything. It's on fire, he's on fire. Look at this, Dwayne McKeever putting out the fire on Martin Richards' Driftworks R32. And Dwayne McKeever consoling Martin Richards. Three sisters, give him a round of applause. Unbelievable scenes here at round 4 of the championship, and you know what, for me, I think that is it. I think that Martin Richards' weekend is done. We're trying to have a quick look of...
Yeah, unfortunately that car going up in smoke, and with it potentially his championship hopes as well. While he hasn't lost it, certainly McKeever won't need a whole lot of points going into that final round, and very unfortunate scenes. We knew going into this one, Ian, that there was problems with that car. We weren't quite sure exactly what it was, but certainly quite a severe smell of burning around here, as we are very close to where that car just went up in flames. And look, the important thing is that nobody's injured, nobody's hurt, and they've managed to control that fire, but certainly not how we wanted to see this weekend end for any driver. And McKeever and Richards just having a little bit of a chat with each other, smiles on their faces. It's great to see that they can, despite the scenes, that they can have a little bit of a laugh and a smile about it with each other. These two guys, biggest rivals.
Yeah, so we have got our man on the ground. Nathan, you're with Martin Richards. Tell us what happened.
Thanks, Big E. I am down here with Martin Richards. The car was on fire. The car was on fire. What's going on?
Not on fire in the right way, I wanted to be on fire to beat Dwayne, but unfortunately, we've been struggling with the engine breathing quite heavily, so we nursed it through the last 2 battles, and it was just getting worse and worse and worse, and what can you do? You can only try. I mean, I tried bringing it home for the UK, but unfortunately, engine's dead.
Well, listen, I'm proud of you, all right? I'm dead proud of you, Martin Richards. That was a fun. It wasn't the tyres that were smoking, it was unfortunately the engine, but you gave it your best, you got up again, and look, there's always next time, all right? Yeah. That's Martin Richards, ladies and gentlemen. Commiserations, and we'll catch up with you soon. Back to you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, give him a huge round of applause representing the UK. Martin Richards out of competition. Eddie, what a shame. Not the way that anybody want to see it. Dave Egan, we go to you just quickly.
From the judging point of view, that run was still very much open because Martin had a great run there. But even more impressive in the show how hard he was trying to beat Dwayne was the fact that he finished almost the last section of the course on perfect line, on fire, which was pretty incredible. So he actually kept the foot in even when the flames were coming through. So goes to show how much these guys wanted, but a very unfortunate situation there. We would have loved to see the second half of that one.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anyone that would disagree with that. We could watch those two warriors go at it all day long, and it looks so unfortunate. But you know what? For me, this championship is not done yet.
Watch the smoke out of the vent on the bonnet from right about here. Car on fire, and Martin Richards still fully committed all the way out to clipping point 7.
Yeah,
Keeps his foot
that's
in it with
bravery right there.
Smoke and oil bailing all over the windscreen. Finishes the run up He knows exactly what he's got to do, and he chucks that car onto the grass to avoid covering the circuit in oil. Such a gentleman, and such a shame to see Martin Richards bow out of competition at this point. We do need to make it official, David Egan.
Yeah, it looks like it's official that Dwayne McKeever will go through to the final, which it looks like Martin is done in the day for the competition, meaning the loser of Ollie Evans and Matt Carter will take third position on the podium.
So yeah, settling 2 scores with 1 strike of the pen. So Martin Richards will finish up in 4th position, meaning he loses, I believe, 11 points to Dwayne McKeever, potentially, if Dwayne McKeever wins this round. So there will be in and around the 30 points between these 2 drivers going into the final round.
So just getting confirmation of what points where, and Eddie, are you going to try and do some maths, or are you going to save it till you get home?
I've done enough maths this weekend, the brain is tired, and
so.
I don't have the point system in front of me, so I don't want to make any assessments yet, but all I will say is that it's not going to be a case that this championship is over, regardless of what happens from here. All we do know is that McKeever has his feet in the final, and he will be going up against either Oliver Evans or the reigning 2017 British Drift Championship winner Matt Carter, and he will head back to his pit. And of course, we're just hearing as well that his own car covered in oil and needs to be cleaned off a little bit, so we will be allowing him some time to do that should he require it. So Matt Carter makes his way back to the line. We got a one more time battle on our hands. They can only go one more time on one occasion, so regardless of what happens between Oliver Evans and Matt Carter, when they make it back to the start line, they will have 2 runs, 2 passes of the circuit, and we will be finding a winner. We will be announcing which one of them goes to the final and which one of them will be taking a 3rd step on the podium, as they are out of the cars and just having a little bit of a word with each other. But round 5 awaits us in a month's time, October, the invasion, the grand finale, and the send-off to one of the greatest circuits in UK motorsport history. Talk us through it.
For me, it's going to be a huge event. It's called the Invasion. We're not going to give too much away just yet. We're going to build that event up as we get through the next month. We've had an amazing turnout here at Three Sisters circuit in Wigan, and I want to thank every single person that's come out. The weather this morning wasn't the greatest, and I didn't think that many people would leave their homes to come and witness this amazing event. But you know what? They came out in their hundreds. The sun come out to support them guys, and they've had a wicked weekend. I've had a wicked weekend. Let's make the final round of the British Drift Championship 2018 an absolutely mind-blowing send-off. Dave Egan is going to put on a huge show. We're going to push him to bring over some seriously good drivers. So listen, get online, get your tickets, get your grandstand tickets. Do not miss out.
The UK drivers are going to need your support going into that one. Martin Richards, after suffering terminal engine damage, he's going to be going into that final as an underdog, but he can still take the championship. He needs his countrymen to get behind him and support him. But it looks as though Nathan wants to have a quick word with us, Ian. Nathan, you down there?
Oh, I'm down here. I'm looking at you. I'm down here. How are you, chaps?
We're higher
excited into that car on fucking in. Nice, you can talk to me.
We're higher up than you. That means we're more important.
Not in society, you're not. Just today. So, what I mean, his car was on fire. What I mean, is that normal? I mean, I'm new to this whole drifting world, but I was extremely scared. A little bit we nearly came out at one point because I honestly thought I was going to blow up.
You was going to blow up?
Well, as in, I was right near the thing. You didn't see me, but I was encouraging the fire extinguishing at a high rate speed. It was exhilarating. You got to feel bad though for Martin Richards. The poor lad made me breakfast this morning. He saved me about 17 quid getting a bacon and egg sandwich. So you know, he's a good friend of mine. I appreciate that. So you know, it's hard to see him go out. But how are you calling it up there? How's the vision up top?
It's very good. Our view is amazing from the tower. Sun's beaming down on us.
Yeah, we could see your ball patch from up here.
My what patch?
Your bald patch.
You can't see anything from 4 foot high, my friend. I don't care what kind of tower you're in, you small bastard.
The best thing that could have happened, Nathan, is that the fire caught that horrible moustache on your face on fire.
Ian, I think you've forgotten. You're not reading the script. We're supposed to be best friends. Can you say the insults to pint size on your left hand side? I've already had abuse today from a 105-year-old. I don't need it from you.
What happened with that anyway? Because you've not done anything about it, and I feel that she won.
Some will say I'm stalling. I'm just biding my time, is what I would call it.
Some would say you'd run out of material. Again.
Jesus, now they're both going at me. I haven't been double teamed since last Friday. I'm not about to get it from you two now.
We're just trying to keep you on your toes, Nathan. That's all we're trying to do, mate.
Well, better than being on my knees. Right, I will leave it over to you guys, and I'll catch up with you later, you scumbags.
Thanks, Nathan. Maybe he was right. Maybe he's not that nice.
No,
we did pick on him a little bit.
He's got his moments. Yeah, I think we're probably in the wrong at this one. Look, Nathan's been a good addition to the championship and giving out a few freebies to some of our audience as well. So if you weren't here, you missed out.
Look, yeah, exactly that. In our break, Nathan did a little bit and put on a show for the guys here in attendance. Gave away some free clothing. That's something not to be missed. Get your tickets for round 5, come down, you can have a laugh with Nathan Black. He's going to be there putting on a show, and he will be our half-time circus clown, should we call him?
Yes, and also hearing that the official number of seats available in the grandstand for the final round is now 25. Only 25 tickets remain for grandstand seats. So if you don't get them in the next hour or two, you're going to be standing at that event. Get them while they're hot.
Yeah, definitely that. Get them while they're hot, like Eddie says, and they are selling out very, very fast. That round just a month away at Rockingham Motor Speedway, the send-off for the circuit and the final chapter of our championship. It's not decided just yet, as we see Martin Richards' car get recovered. Eddie, we are going to say a quick thank you to our sponsors. First along, we'd like to say a huge thank you to Jap Speed, M-Tech Brakes, Funk Motorsport, JDM Distro, AM Details, VP Racing Fuel, Link Engine Management, Samco Sport, Brian James Trailer, Cosmos Racing Wheels, who, if you haven't noticed, Eddie didn't buy any, but they have got a 30% sale on this weekend over by our Drift Games clothing stand. Simpson Racing Products, Zestino Tyres, and Monster Energy fueling UK drifting. Dave Egan, we're going to go to you just briefly.
Yeah, we're just having a discussion here amongst ourselves in the judging tower, and we just made the call that we're going to let Ollie Evans and Matt Connor do a drive of the circuit before their battle, just to test the conditions. It's a lot of oil came out of Martin Richards' car. In fact, I didn't even believe it was oil. I thought it was water. There was that much of it coming out through the wings of the car. So it exploded. So it's, to us, I think there's so much oil down there, and the conditions have changed a small bit, that in the issue of safety, we're going to let them not drift it, but just drive it to get a feel for it, know where that is on the course, just to give them a fair shot at their top 4 battle.
So there we go. We're going to send in a minute, once our track staff have cleaned up, and we can see Martin Richards there making his exit of the circuit. And
guys, give him another round of applause as he leaves the circuit. And of course, you know, he has been fighting tooth and nail to be your 2018 champion. He wants to do it, nation's pride on the line, and Martin Richards right now is just, yeah, giving the wave to the audience. And you know, he comes out here to put on a show for you guys, so show him a little bit of support, and make sure you're coming in to support him for the final round of the championship. We want to see back-to-back UK winners of the championship. We don't want to see Northern Irish guys coming over here and stealing UK silverware. And certainly Martin Richards wants to be defending his nation's pride on home soil.
He certainly does, and he's done a very, very good job so far. He just hasn't had the job opportunity this year to shine as much as what he'd like to, and that first place on the podium eluding him all year. And Dwayne McKeever just, you know what, just doing a sterling job. He's been the best driver that we have ever had in this championship. He is unbelievable to go. I mean, so far 3 for 3. If he could go 4 for 4 and even do the full season win-to-win back-to-back wins, sorry. I mean, that in itself is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, when you take how far, if you were to see that maybe 5-10 years ago in drifting, it wouldn't have been as amazing.
No.
When you look at the standard, it's almost like a level playing field. Everything's kind of plateaued in terms of no one championship in Europe is really outshining any other. The talent across the board is just so high now, because you have so many people interested in this exciting sport. Everybody wants to be the best at it. Everybody wants to have the best car, the best machinery. The talent pool is just endless. So to dominate so much is just incredible in this day and age.
Exactly that, and and people think that, oh, it's easy for him to win, he's such a good driver, but like you say, it's not just the fact that it's mind-blowing that he's won event after event, he's been challenged, and every single battle is a challenge. I speak to Dwayne McKeever after every single event, and I said to him, how you feeling? And he's like, it's not an easy weekend. People assume that, oh, I'm the best, I'm going to win it, but it's not by any means a simple run to the final, and especially the finals are never ever just gifted.
No, and I mean, you look at other championships and you saw James Dean taking the European Championship last weekend, and from the outset it looks as though, oh, he just shows up and he wins, but you don't see the battle in the pits, what's going on behind the scenes, these cars breaking down, they're so highly strung, and quite often these guys are just putting on a brave face and not complaining because they're so focused on the task at hand and on winning that they don't want to allow any negativity creep in. And nobody in the history of the sport has shown the type of dominance that Dwayne McKeever has shown. Not even James Dean can boast, that sort of dominance over 2 championships in the one competitive season.
Exactly that, and like we say, we're going to the Invasion round 5 at Rockingham Motor Speedway. Who knows what Dave Egan has in store for that event, but I can tell you something now, he's not going to make it easy for Dwayne McKeever to take the championship 5 for 5. As you can see him there walking up to Oliver Evans and Matt Carter. Oliver Evans and Matt Carter patiently waiting for their
I think he just said,
final 4 battle.
Don't worry about it, guys, you're wasting your time.
Just give it to me now.
Yeah. Look, I'm undefeated. Matt, you only won the championship last year because I wasn't here. Ollie, look, you're saying I'm brake checking you, but that's just an excuse.
Oh.
That's what he's saying, okay? I'm just lip reading. And you can see our marshals working very hard. Guys, give them a round of applause. Some of the hardest working people in drifting. They get little or no thanks. Look at that elbow action from Mike. Sweeps the floors at home.
And a little dab there for your entertainment.
Yeah. Almost slipped on the
almost,
on the oil.
Almost. That would have been funny if he dabbed and fell over.
So, of course, while there's a break in the action, make sure and check out the British Drift Championship Drift Games and IDC merchandise range. You can check it out on shop.britishdriftchampionship.co.uk or www.driftgames.life. Check out all the range, the official merchandise on sale now with new additions to that range just added this weekend, Ian.
Yeah, a brand new hoodie with that very good looking design on the back of it, and online soon.
That hoodie only available
now here
at
right
the
now.
event at the moment. It will be online soon, but the only people that can get it are the people that paid through the gate, and we got to thank our patrons because without them none of this would be possible.
And there's a sale on. There is a sale on right now for your current British Drift Championship clothing. So if you want some current British Drift Championship clothing to go and wear at the final round, get yourself down there to doing a sale this weekend on that clothing.
You could literally go down there and get a discount at the Drift Games tent and then move over to the Cosmos Racing Wheels section, which is right beside it. You can't miss it. Pick yourself up some wheels and go home completely kitted out.
Cool t-shirts and hoodies and 30% off a set of Cosmos wheels. What a way to spend your month's wages.
I mean, look, who cares if you have to eat cereal for the next month?
I do. I care about these people, Eddie.
Do you?
Yeah. You might not.
I care about them looking cool.
Oh, I see.
And rocking stanced wheels.
So it does look like we have Matt Carter and Oliver Evans in their cars, and we are just going to let them do a quick drive of the circuit just to feel out the grip levels that there is out there after that oil spill from Martin Richards. So they will be driving the circuit, and as you can see in the background, Dwayne McKeever patiently waiting his next competitor to take down. Who is it going to be? Will it be Matt Carter or will it be Oliver Evans?
Yeah, well, what we do know is that they're going into a one more time, so that will mean that this battle has to be decided. We have to find the winner who's going through to face McKeever. McKeever will just enjoy this moment to try and relax. The sun is shining. He can sit outside the car and just soak up the sunshine as the guys just prepare themselves, leave the line, and of course they'll take this opportunity just to get themselves in the zone as well, Ian, and focus the mind at the task at hand. This is a big deal for both of these drivers. It hasn't been the perfect season for Matt Carter. He's spent a lot of time, a lot of money traveling around Europe, and mechanical issue after mechanical issue has hampered his progress. He would like nothing more than to return to home soil and finish the season on a high by taking the top step of the podium. Oliver Evans, on the other hand, he has had a nightmare season as well with mechanical difficulties, and he hasn't been able to produce his best form here in the British Drift Championship. He goes up against the reigning, defending champion, and what it would mean to him to take him down and go up against old arch rival and nemesis Dwayne McKeever in the final. These two guys look set. They are two of the best in the business. VP Racing Fuels versus Jap Speed and Max's Tires. As the sun continues to shine here at the Three Sisters Circuit in Wigan, and I for one would not be surprised to see us return to this amazing venue. The staff and the owners here have been wonderful all weekend. They've really helped us out, helped us put on an incredible show, and they've been so welcoming and opening their doors to British drifting, and that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see more racetracks embrace the joys of British drifting.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we need more tracks in the UK to support us and get behind this championship and push it forward. And listen, we need racetracks, we need supporters, we need the public to come along. And for me, Wigan has come out in force this weekend.
I was so
really done us proud. Unbelievable attendance from everyone here at Three Sisters Circuit. I'm blown away by the attendance and even their interaction with Nathan, which is, you know, I know he's hard work and he's an ugly looking fella, but
I was so surprised this morning. Usually when you wake up and you're in the hotel and you're saying, okay, we've got to go to track, and you come outside and it's wet and it's raining, you kind of say, I don't expect to see big crowds here. But you know what? These people showed their loyalty to the championship, and they came out in their droves, and there was hundreds of people here before even we arrived, which is just incredible to see. And right from the off, from morning practice, they were sitting on the bank. They were ready, they were enjoying it, loving the action, watching the practice right from the off. They were here in their droves for qualifying, and they have just been soaking up the sunshine since the afternoon. It's been incredible. We've been banging through the action here, and it looks as though we are almost ready to go. But Dave Egan has his hand up. Dave, you got a question?
We're just talking about the track marshals here. Obviously, in the interest of safety, there's a lot of oil on the track. Not just a dribble, not just a spill. This is a proper full engine's worth of oil on that last corner. So they're going to let these guys do one lap each just to get a feel for it. In the interest of safety, it's the fastest part of the track. We don't want anyone slipping up there and ending up in the crash barriers. So they're just going to get a little kind of half lap through it, not go through the tyres, not a competitive run, just to get a feel for it. That's all. Just to give them a fair shot. It is quite unsafe there.
well, there you go. Just goes to show you how bad it is. Yeah, look at that. Oliver Evans completely gets out of it, and like Dave Egan said, it's a lot of oil.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's probably 6, 7, maybe 8 litres of oil that these engines take. And
yeah, we see Matt Carter now just putting it down. Is he going to attempt to drive through it, or is he going to back out of it? As you can see, Matt Carter stays in it.
yeah, so Carter looking confident enough with the grip levels there, and you know, maybe with where it is possibly one of the best positions on the circuit if these guys can just kind of, you know, the end of the run, just power through it. And
well, it looks like we have got a thumbs up from our track marshal and everybody else who is happy enough to send these cars. We're going to wait and just maybe have a quick word with the drivers, see if they're happy enough to send the cars. You can see Oliver Evans just out of his car.
yeah, maybe adjusting tyre pressures.
Yeah, just to suit.
Just to get ready. Dwayne McKeever keeping a close eye on everything that's going on here. Maybe just a little bit of mind games, you know, guys. I'm still here, still waiting, you know, whenever you're ready.
Well, it does look like both these guys are ready to go with this one more time battle, and it will be Oliver Evans to lead out Matt Carter for the one more time. The battle has to be decided right here and right now. Who is going to face off with Dwayne McKeever in the final? Could Oliver Evans have a dream weekend, qualify first and take the top spot on the podium? First of all, he needs to go through Matt Carter and then McKeever.
Yeah, but the Door Hunter's going to have other ideas. We couldn't separate them on the first battle. We are ready to go. VP Racing Fuel versus Jap Speed. Maxis versus Westlake. They are go for the final time. The Door Hunter looks for the door, straight to the off, tucks in right behind Oliver Evans. As Evans looks to pull the gap once again, the Door Hunter makes the dive down the inside but loses some ground. They switch it back to the outside, then tuck it down onto the curbs. And out wide for the final time, Carter unable to find the door. They come through the oil, no problems for either driver. They cross the line. Wigan makes some noise. Carter and Evans. Evans doing a really strong job there, Ian, in that lead position, not giving Matt Carter an opportunity to get right on the door.
No, Oliver Evans puts down that impeccable lead run that he's been doing all weekend. Sticks to the qualifying line, does exactly what he needs to do, and just tries to drive away from Matt Carter. And in a sense, he does that. Matt Carter doesn't have the proximity. Carter tries to make a few little jabs at the door and a few little dives here and there, but he just can't get into the fight. And for me, Oliver Evans looks very, very dominant, and Carter just, like I say, can't get into it at all.
Yeah, so it looks as though from where we're sitting that Oliver Evans may have just the slightest of advantages going into the second half of this one. We switch it around now. Carter will be in the lead position, and we just know how good Evans is in the chase position. So aggressive and always looks to go as close as possible to the lead driver. Carter leaves the line. Oliver Evans right there with him. Here we go for the final time. Evans throws it onto the door straight away. Wow. Up close and personal. Look at this for proximity. All over the rear end of that R32 Skyline. Right back into it now. They switch it back. Can Evans make the dive to the smoke? He certainly can. Straight onto the door of Matt Carter. Can he stay there? Can he force an error from Matt Carter? Matt Carter looking nice and comfortable. They come over the oil again, but Evans is side by side as they cross the line. Two really strong runs, but Evans looking like he just had the edge in.
For me, Oliver Evans definitely had the edge there. The proximity that he had coming through Luna and the last final couple of dives that Oliver Evans made was absolutely phenomenal. Matt Carter, I think, just did everything he could do to try and evade him. Decisions in who's going to take it through to battle Dwayne McKeever, who's going to take third step on the podium, left for Carter, right for Evans. Kieran Hines says Oliver Evans. David Egan says Oliver Evans. It's unanimous. Oliver Evans gets the win and goes through. Matt Carter goes to the third step on the podium. Judges, we fire it to you. Oliver Evans facing off against McKeever in the final.
Oh, this is shaping up for something something really good, I think. Yeah, but look, if we dissect the two runs, Oliver in the lead position. Yeah, he has a decent lead run. Does a little slight cut of clip 5 going through the S's there, but overall good lead run. Matt in the chase position, he does well in the S's. He does get proximity, keeps proximity to the end. Maybe falls off a small bit near the end, and that could be put down to him being on the aisle at the very end of the track. But so after the first one, Matt takes us, an advantage, a slight advantage. When we swap it around, Matt has a good lead line apart from corner one. At corner one, he's not actually that wide, and that kind of plays into Oliver's hands a little bit because he gets good proximity through there. And again, Matt also kind of is off clip 5 in the S's. He cuts that a little bit. Oliver does a good job there, keeps proximity and has a stronger finish to the run overall. So just slightly better proximity over the two runs for Oliver, and enough to take the advantage and take the win.
Well, there we go. Oliver Evans heads on to the final battle of the day. Nathan, you're with Oliver Evans.
I am big. I'm down here with the big man, Oliver Evans. Oliver, we chatted to you just about an hour ago. You were going up to do battle to get into the top 8, I believe. Since then, top 4, made it, just had an exhilarating battle. There, we had to go again. You had a slippery surface. You've made it through. You're top qualifying. You're going into the final, I believe. How do you feel?
Pretty good. Like I kind of came here this weekend and I knew the car was right. You know, I've done a lot of work on it. I've had a new engine by Dave Yandel. I've got the right fuel in the car now and everything. It's just, yeah, it's about time somebody stopped this guy now, isn't it?
Well, that's what I was about to ask you. I asked you earlier, is this it? Are you the person that they've been talking about? Maybe you're not the hero, that we wanted, but the hero that we needed, as the old saying goes. You're about to do battle with a man that's won 7 in a row. He's going for 8. He doesn't feel the pressure. He's not intimidated, but maybe the overconfidence is what will let you snap in there, take it home. What's going to happen? Are you going to go on with the victory?
Who is it?
Who is he? He's tall, he's Irish, and he reckons he can race better than you. Have you got a response?
Handbrake lever.
Handbrake lever. There we are. Well, I wish you all the best. Good luck, my friend. There we are. He's about to drift the night away.
Wow, there we go.
So there you have it, a man that pays no respect to anybody. Oliver Evans, Dwayne McKeever, the dream final in many respects. Ian, we are almost set for it. We're going to go back to the judges. David Egan, you have something to say?
I do. Just in the interest of fairness here, we're going to allow Dwayne McKeever a pass of the circuit, just to get familiar with where the oil and the dust is now on the track. Obviously, Evans and Carter not affected massively by it. It seems like there is grip there, but just in the order of fairness that Dwayne hasn't been able to look at the track in the meantime, we're going to give him a quick pass of the circuit just to make sure he's okay, building up to an incredible final.
Yeah, and this one, it has history. These two guys, if you don't know at home, or if you've yet to discover this, these two guys have got history, Eddie.
Yeah, and if you're wondering what Oliver Evans is referring to when he says brake lever, these two guys battled in Ireland in Mondello Park a couple of seasons ago, and let's just say going into the first corner, Oliver Evans was right on the back bumper of Dwayne McKeever when it appeared as though Dwayne McKeever slowed down, brake checked him. We're not so sure. I'm not going to make any statements on it. These are his words. Oliver Evans reckons that he backed out of it and that he's essentially soft. And there was some choice words used between these two. So to say a grudge match, this one is bigger than just a final.
Yeah, this one is definitely a grudge match as we see Dwayne McKeever leave the line. He is going to get his fair pass of the circuit just to feel out where the grip is and isn't on that oil spill section after Luna Bend. Yeah, look.
Yeah, we're talking about Dwayne McKeever, but what more can be said about him? Look, 7 rounds this season unbeaten. He competed in the British Drift Championship last season for 1 round. He was unbeatable by anybody. He comes through that oil section of the circuit, tests out the grip. This guy is a man on the mission. I've been watching him compete since he was 13 years of age, the first time I saw him out on circuit. He has so much experience behind him. He is such a cool customer. He has 2 Irish Drift Championships under his belt. He is looking to go to Europe. He is looking to go undefeated this season. But his biggest obstacles are this weekend here at the British Drift Championship and next weekend in the Irish Drift Championship. Oliver Evans makes that trip over to the Irish Drift Championship next weekend. Could we see a repeat of this final next weekend as well? I mean, the stories are endless here. This one is a really, really exciting battle. If you don't know who Oliver Evans is, or if you don't think he's good enough to take down a man that's 7 times undefeated this season, Oliver Evans is a forgotten hero. He is one of the most talented drivers on the grid, and this season has been so unfortunate with mechanical difficulties, but he is here, he is working, the car is working, he's your top qualifier, and he is gunning to take down that undefeated streak. He is gunning to take down Dwayne McKeever, and I for one wouldn't bet against him.
No, exactly. I wouldn't bet against him at all. And I said it earlier on, I think there's someone's going to upset the apple cart, and I do believe now, right now, after watching Oliver Evans drive all day, that he is the man. Can he be the man? Can he prove to himself that he is the man to take down the current point leader and the undefeated driver in the championship, Dwayne McKeever?
Look, Oliver Evans may not be the most decorated driver in UK or European drifting history, but that doesn't mean that he hasn't got what it takes. When he talks about other drivers and he says, who are they? He is not phased. That's what he means it. It's like, he doesn't care about the name, he doesn't care about the reputation. Leave your trophies in your locker because they don't matter. Out on circuit, none of that makes any difference to him, and he is gunning for it. And you know what? If anybody can get in Dwayne McKeever's head, it's Oliver Evans.
It's Oliver Evans, exactly, especially after that situation at the IDC where they had a little bit of a contact and a little bit of a beef, shall we say, and now there's a whole story. This is a grudge match. This is, you know, for Oliver Evans, this is his opportunity to shine and prove that he is better than Dwayne McKeever. We're going to almost head to the line. We can see Oliver Evans down there. His car is ready. McKeever's in the car. He's ready to rock and roll. This is going to be a good final, Eddie.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a really good final. We want to say a big thank you as well to our sponsors, Cosmos Racing Wheels with that 30% discount this weekend, Simpson Racing Products, Zestino Tires UK, Monster Energy, Jap Speed, M-Tech Brakes, Funk Motorsport, JDM Distro, AM Details, VP Racing Fuels, sponsoring one of the drivers in the final, Link Engine Management, the title sponsor of the series, Samco Sport, Brian James Trailers, and of course all our patrons paying through the gate here this weekend. And you know what, without all of the help and the support from those guys and the guys that are here in attendance, none of this would be possible. We need you guys to just show your support for the championship. That's what it's all about. It's all about coming here and being part of it. Sitting at home, that's for nobodies.
Well, listen, this is exactly what I'm saying about when you need to get online now, get your tickets for the Invasion in just a month's time at Rockingham Motor Speedway. Come along to the event, support these drivers. Listen, we've already told you it's going to be a show. It's going to be something you're not going to want to miss, and it's going to be a send-off for Rockingham Motor Speedway. We are waiting to get cars to the line. Not sure what the hold-up is at the moment.
Of course, Oliver Evans having to go back into the pits just to change tyres, I would imagine, ahead of his final with Dwayne McKeever. Dwayne having that extra little bit of time. Are you guys ready to see the final of the round 4? So there's about 10 people. 10 people. One particularly loud gentleman just behind us here. Come on, guys, on your feet. Are you guys ready to see the final battle of the day? That's what I'm talking about. I knew there was a little bit of noise in the UK.
That's it. We'll warm them up a little bit. We're not quite ready to get them warmed up too much just yet. As we can see, Oliver Evans making his way out on circuit.
I'm just going to say that was the 50% standard.
That was 50,
so you've got to double it for the final.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stand up for this one. Here we go.
And you know what, Ian? I'm going to join you because
you join
I think
me, Eddie.
this one's
going to be good. I don't even think I can sit down for this. On the line.
I'm going to advise everybody here in attendance to
everybody here, stand up.
Take out your phones, set them to record,
and get ready to see some action.
And just get ready for some badass door-on-door, bumper-to-bumper, wheel-on-wheel, honest racing, because these two guys, they are not going to go home without beating each other up around this circuit. They're warming the tyres. They're getting ready to come to the line. Three Sisters, hit them with a wall of sound that they're going to hear at the start line. Get them pumped up for the action. Are you ready for the final? Come on, that's pathetic. Give me the biggest cheer today. Are you ready for the final? That's more like it. We're ready to send them. Oliver Evans, Dwayne McKeever, national pride at stake. Who's going to take it?
Eddie Power, you're going to run out of oxygen in a minute. Calm down, calm down.
I've just popped a couple of veins
here. You've just popped a vein.
But you know what? This means everything. This is huge. We're only going to have one more round after this battle. It's time to make some noise. It's time to show your appreciation. BDC, let's hear you. We are go. Evans to lead in McKeever.
Yeah, look at this. Evans hot on the tail, but look at him gone. McKeever now starts to hunt down Evans as Evans looks nice, cool, calm and collected. Very good from Evans so far. Can McKeever make the dive? He certainly can. He gets on the door as they transition into limit point 4 now. McKeever looks to hunt down the VP Fuels S14. Can he get nice and close? He can. He starts to make the dive again as McKeever gets on the door. McKeever on the door of Oliver Evans as they come across the line. Wigan, make some noise.
Really, really strong performance on the first half of this one from both drivers, Ian, and it looked as though McKeever didn't have the pace to keep with Oliver Evans, but I think a very, very clever ploy from him, holding back, not getting caught, not making the dive too soon, and just getting that proximity right at the end. Very, very clever and tactical from him. You can see Oliver Evans doing a really strong job in the lead position, making it easy for McKeever to follow a very good line, and look at this, McKeever just starts to turn the screw as they come through that final section, pushes Evans over the line. Evans will have felt them and know he was there as they crossed through the final sections. They're almost ready to line up for the final time, the final pass of the circuit. McKeever, Evans.
Here we go. These guys pull to the line. Eddie, this is big. This is very, very big. McKeever pulls up to the line. He's pumped. He knows what he needs to do. Oliver Evans was on the door. Before we release the cars, Three Sisters, I want to make some noise for these guys. Are you ready for your final run of the day? I think they're ready, Eddie.
I think they are, Ian. I think we're ready. The drivers are ready. Malks is ready on the line. He gives the orders. We are go. McKeever to lead in Evans. Evans tucks in behind him. What can he do in the chase position?
He's going to make a big dive.
He looks for the door straight away in. Look at that proximity.
Whoa!
Bumper on transition. Evans makes a dive again. Could Evans be the one to take down McKeever? Door to door, they make contact, wheel to wheel.
Oh, Evans knocks himself out of it. He needs to get back into the fight. McKeever stays cool as he stands on the accelerator. Evans falls behind and they bring it across the line. Wigan makes some noise for Dwayne McKeever and Oliver Evans.
Wow, what a final.
Look at this on the replay. Unbelievable from Oliver Evans. Unbelievable dive from the initiation. Look at this, gets nice and close to the door. Look at the transition, he makes a big error though. He straightens hugely, has to reinitiate to get back on the door as they send it into Luna. Good transition again, contact there, and then dives onto the door, contact again, and that is where Evans makes the biggest mistake. He has to bail out of it, slow down and compose himself. By that point, McKeever is up and gone. This one, Eddie, could be decided. Judges, we go to you.
We have a decision.
Well, there we go, Eddie Powell. We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go down to the podium. Eddie, I'm handing it over to you.
Yeah, look, what about that, Ian? Judge's decision made nice and quickly. Guys, we want to thank you all. We will ask you just give us 5-10 more minutes of your time and join us out on track for the podium ceremonies. Before we do, give yourselves a round of applause. You've been the best audience we have had this year. You guys have made some really good noise here and pumped up our drivers, but I'm going to hand it over to Nathan Black, who's down on the track.
Thank you very much. I've never heard you so excited. I don't know what kind of power they got hiding up there, but you need to have a little bit less of it, Edward. Good job today. Wow, what a final it was. Will it be Mr. Evans? Will it be Mr. McKeever? I don't know anything about drifting, but they both look fantastic. So one of them's going to win. That's my prediction. What a great day it's been here today. Can we get a high five, sir? How are you? Come on. That's a handshake. You didn't listen. So we're just going to go down. We're going to find out who came in first, who came in second. But I want to remind you, round 5's coming up. It's about a month away. Get your tickets. Come and see us. It's going to be a crazy event. I'm going to be there. I'm going to have a haircut the day before. I'm going to be looking prim and proper. I'm going to be doing some live stuff throughout the day. Stuff you ain't going to get if you're sitting behind your PC screen at home. So come down, buy a ticket. Get yourself a hot tin today. Come and check it out. Bring your family, bring your friends, and come and see us at round 5 at Rockingham for the last car event ever. It's going to be a great event. You're not going to want to miss it. Now, I'm waiting for the main man, Ian, to come down and relieve me, because my mum and dad have been waiting for me in the car park for the last 10 minutes, and they're not happy with me. I told them I'd be finished. I am coming. I don't know where he is. No, still not here. He's slow, isn't he? He is slow. He doesn't look great either. But no, it's been a sterling event. We're going to go towards the cars because I believe we are about to reveal who has won. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? With driving to make your liver quiver. Let's come on over. Hello, how are you? He's waving at me. There we are. Always happy to see me, are you? Yeah, well, feeling's not mutual. Things are certainly starting to... The anticipation that's in the air right now as we wait. Here he is, old Beardy McGee. Like I said, I'm leaving you to it, but come to round 5. Round 5 is where it's at. The last one, I'm going to be there. He's going to be there. Unfortunately, Edward's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Don't you worry about it. I'm going to hand you on over. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in a month.
Nathan Black, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Nathan. And it's time to do the most important part of the day. Before we hand out the trophies, I want everyone here to give these guys a huge round of applause. Give it up for your final 3 finishers, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, this one was an easy decision for our judges, and everyone at home already knows the answer to this one. But taking the 3rd step on the podium, give it up for Jap Speed, Maxis Drivers, the door hunter, Matt Carter, ladies and gentlemen. That just leaves one big decision left to give away. And taking the 2nd step on the podium, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Oliver Evans! That means undefeated. Give it up and raise the roof of the Northern Smoke Machine, Dwayne McKeever! Ladies and gentlemen, from me and Eddie, the judges and everybody else here at the BDC, we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we'll see you soon. Don't forget, get your tickets online now for round 5 of the British Drift Championship at Rockingham Motor Speedway. We will see you very, very soon. Have a safe journey home.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
I've chosen to use VP racing fuel since I was a teenager racing motocross, which was 21 years ago now.
I've been using VP racing fuel for years, basically ever since I built my first race car, and you want to get that consistent fuel, it was VP through and through.
Absolutely,
right from the beginning.
that's the brand. Yeah, I've been using VP probably since I was 10 years old racing dirt bikes. There's so many different VP racing fuels to choose from. One of the best go-tos is definitely C16.
So we use C16 in our Formula Drift cars.
I run C16 in all my cars outside of this one here. The two race cars here at the track, we run the C85.
And my supercharged Coyote-powered Mustang that's over in Europe, we use MS109.
And a Ferrari car, I actually run MS109.
VP has been making racing fuel for 43 years. They're the official fuel of multiple top series globally. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what fuel we need, it's always consistent, it's always perfect and exactly what we're expecting and our tuners expecting. They support myself, my Drift Alliance bros, and for that, I'm extremely thankful. Keep making amazing fuels, and we'll keep out there having fun.
There's a reason that half the paddock, if not more here, runs Samco hose, and that's that nobody wants to be let down by a split water hose or a split boost hose. And with Samco, there's nothing to worry about.
With using these hoses, we get the reliability, they never burst, we can just rely on them, and that's all we need.
Half of the grid are running Samco hoses in their cars, and there's a reason for that. They're the best in the business.
I'm so happy to be running Samco hoses now, because in the past we have run other manufacturers' hoses and we have had the intercooler pipes collapsing, which obviously when you're under massive pressure on track, you have to be fully supportive and reliant on your hoses.
So a lot of people ask us over the years, you know, what hoses you run. Personally, I can't think of anything better than Samco. They do what they say on the tin, they work, they don't come loose, they don't fail on you, they don't pop. You can't beat Samco.
With over 25 years experience, Link Engine Management are global leaders in motorsport engine technology. Developed and manufactured in New Zealand, Link has been supplying ECUs, sensors and dashes to drivers around the world. We have a range of products to help you get the most out of your engine, and all of our ECUs come with a limited lifetime warranty. So if you want to upgrade, find your nearest dealer and get more info on our products, visit linkecu.com. Presenting the Link MXS Strada dashes powered by AIM Technologies, 2 devices that work in harmony with your existing Link ECU. Available in the standard or street version, the Strada can show a wide range of data like speed, water temperature, oil pressure and much more, thanks to its ability to read up to 4 analog inputs and 1 digital input. Our dashes come pre-configured, allowing you to get set up quickly and easily. For more information on these and all of our other products, contact your local dealer or visit linkecu.com.